What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast, The Digital Hustle, where we will discuss content marketing career pathways 101. We break down everything you need to know to crush it in the world of digital and content marketing. I'm Shamima Raihan Manzoor, your host and your guide on this exciting journey.
And I'm Shahida, your co pilot for this ride. Whether you're just starting to dip your toes into digital marketing or ready to take your skills to the next level, we've got you covered. With insider tips, expert advice, and many more.
Today, we are hyped to launch our very first episode, and trust me, you are gonna love what we have got in store.
Yep, we're kicking things off by diving into how one of the top programs in digital marketing offered by YorkU is building the pros of tomorrow.
Helping us break it all down is someone who knows this space inside out. Our guest today is Todd Rich, a higher ed pro with over 30 years of experience. He has been shaping programs at top institutions like Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts, including 7 impactful years at York University, and has helped countless students step into the spotlight of digital marketing.
Todd's career trajectory is as inspiring as it gets. From coordinating study abroad programs in the US to revolutionizing continuing education here in Canada. Todd, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome. I appreciate it.
All right, Todd, let's jump right onto it. Everyone wants to know what makes the digital and content marketing program at York University such a game changer for anyone in this competitive industry. What sets this program aside?
We launched our digital and content marketing program about 5 years ago. And it's been super successful ever since. And I think what really makes it stand out is it bridges the gap between digital marketing and content marketing. So there are a lot of other programs out there that really focus on the digital side of things. But we know that to be successful in the field, a lot of the jobs out there involve both digital and knowing how to create content. So for us, we've combined them together. We've added 2 other courses that are like foundational marketing and business sort of courses to really give students a comprehensive, understanding of the ecosystem in digital and content marketing, so they can build their knowledge and skills to hopefully be job ready when they're done and get to work in this amazing field.
I do have a question totally out of the script.
Oh, sure.
I do have a question
Yeah, please carry
because
on.
I love Todd has a very passionate way of saying, okay, he loves
Yeah.
it. So what made you interested in this field or to be a coordinator or program manager of this particular program?
Yeah, so I should sort of maybe take a step back and to say I manage the program.
Mm-hmm.
I manage a portfolio of different certificate programs. So I'm not an instructor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a content expert. We'll probably talk about this in a bit, but I hire those people to sort of bring the content. They're industry experts. But for us, we really think about where's the job market going, and we do research to understand the job market. That really, I think, drives the programs that we develop. So we don't just develop programs because we think that sounds interesting, but we think, okay, where's the job growth? Who's the target audience? And how can we build a program that's going to set them up for success?
So it's value based, okay? It's based on the value of that particular program in the job market.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we definitely, job market and job growth are really important factors when we develop new programs.
That's fantastic.
I do have one more question regarding this. I keep on asking because I'm so curious. So the students who are interested in this program, what can they expect?
Yeah, so I think they can learn the basic digital and content marketing skills. So we have a lot of students who come to the program having taken some courses in digital and content marketing, or more probably on the digital side. We have people who've done internships or who have worked in the field, but they don't always have the credential that says, I've got this knowledge and skills. So it's pretty foundational, the program. It gives you a lot, covers everything from understanding your competition to understanding, how to do research, to understand who your target audience is and how to understand your keyword search, how to ideate ideas when you're out to create content, writing content, analyzing the content. So we've basically taken like the job milestones of someone working in a digital and content marketing role, and we've aligned that with the curriculum so that when you learn something, you get to apply it in a real way, and it kind of mirrors what you would do in the real world.
Oh, that is awesome.
So practical.
So, Todd, I'm curious, what's an example of like real world project that students have worked on?
One of the things that we've done recently is, we're always trying to think of how can we make the curriculum more aligned with today's marketplace. So I did hear from students that they didn't feel as job ready as I would like. They love the program, but they wanted to be more job ready.
Yeah.
So what we did is we actually redeveloped the program and we designed this project. And I'll just explain the project quickly if you want. But think of a capstone project, which people usually understand a capstone. A capstone usually happens at the end of a program.
Exactly.
It connects all the dots. So you learn in isolation throughout the program. And then the final thing you do is you connect the dots in a capstone. I sort of thought about that and in a different program, but I applied it to the digital and content marketing program. And we took that capstone concept and we put it into course basically number 1, we'll say for discussion. And that project then carries and flows through the entire program. So students don't do a project on like, let's talk about Tim Hortons and what they do for digital marketing. They actually have a project that they own and they get to sort of carry it through each course. So let's just say an example is every section gets assigned, let's say an industry, we'll call it automotive. And then students get to sort of brainstorm like sub-industries. And in this case, we'll use like a car mechanic.
Okay.
So then they create this business and this brand around being a car mechanic. And then everything they do applies to this car mechanic business. So if they're doing a competitor analysis, they look to see who the competitors are for this car mechanic. Who's the target audience? And then they start to think about, well, I need to create content. So everything they start to create for content is around this car mechanic. So it's this real life project that they own. And every course will teach them something and then they apply it to the project. So you learn, apply, reflect, learn, reply, reflect. And that just flows through the entire program. So when you get to the end and you're looking at analytics, you're sort of doing analytics on social media posts you've done for your project. And then you can sort of realize, okay, I did this well, I didn't do this well, I want to tweak this, I want to change this content, maybe my headline wasn't right, or my photo wasn't right, or my keyword search, or maybe I got the target audience wrong. But the fact that there's that continuity makes it real life as you can get, in my opinion.
I think that's really fantastic to have that learning curve, right? To achieve that, that
to be able to correct
level
your
of
mistakes, learn, level up.
Yeah, understanding for the learners. Yeah, it's fantastic.
So, regarding that, I would like to know what role do industry leaders play in, building the content for this course?
Yeah, so going back to what I said earlier about, the first thing we do is look at sort of, is this program viable and is there a market for it? The second thing we do is we put together what we call a program advisory committee, or we call it a PAC. And the PAC are senior industry leaders that we interview and we get feedback about the program and who the audience might be. What are some job sort of outcomes? They help us shape like the program outcomes. So industry people really shape what the program looks like. That's our first step in the process. The second step is we then hire what we call subject matter experts or SMEs who then bring the content to life. So those are like usually end up being my instructors. But they're the ones who sort of say, okay, these are the program outcomes. Now we've got to create course outcomes. And because they're industry leaders and they're not full-time faculty who teach on campus and do research, these are people who work in all day in a day job in marketing, and then they bring all that to the classroom. So the development process includes industry leaders to sort of guide us. Once the program launches and we have instructors, they're also industry leaders. So they bring in their personal experiences, their friends and colleagues for guest speakers. They're bringing in case studies and their own knowledge. So all those things combined help us, make sure it aligns with what industry thinks is still relevant and current in today's world. And it's always changing. Like this, as you guys know, because you're in the field, it's very evolving. Like there's always new technologies. But at the end of the day, and again, I say this as a disclaimer, I'm not a marketing professional, but the concepts are still the same.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago, who's your competition? Who is your target audience? Maybe previously it was one of those, if you build it, they will come approach. And now you're like being very targeted to who's your audience and building stuff that aligns with them. But, marketing hasn't changed. It's still marketing at the end of the day. There's just different platforms and tools to get you to
The
the
core
same
is the
place.
same,
That's
but
right.
the tools have evolved through time.
That's right.
And it's interesting to know that the industry leaders or people who are really in the industry are here to help out the students and also here to build the content of this coursework, which makes it, again, we had a question like, okay, what sets it apart? I would say this is really revolutionary, and this would set this course apart from many other courses out there, because industry experience is something you can either get it, either you're in the industry or you have people that you can connect to who are in the industry. And I believe that this course is actually providing that for students, which is really exciting.
And and my instructors really are the face of the program. Like,
Yeah.
they make the program successful, as you know. They're in the classroom and they bring the content to life. Like, I'm in the background, but they're the ones who sort of bring in all of their experience, and they're always, it's evolving. So if there's something that's maybe happening in the real world that they're aware of that I'm not, and we haven't done a full redevelopment of the program, which we do every few years, but they're tweaking the content to make sure that it's always relevant for you as students, to make sure you're learning what's going to help you to be job ready. Because at the end of the day, that's, I guess, everyone's goal is to finish the program and then get a job.
Yeah, at the end,
Yeah.
the end goal is always to have a place in the industry. That's it. That's why everybody gets into this program. And I'm actually really impressed by what Todd has just explained. The fresh content, the fresh, changes will walk towards you in this coursework. You don't have to go and find them out. They will come to you.
Exactly. Super cool. Todd, let's talk about outcomes. What kind of tools and resources do you give students to help them stand out in the job market?
Yeah, so there are a couple of things I think that were answer this question. One is the project, which I've already explained, which at the end they'll end up with like a portfolio of all this great research. Because when you go into an interview, a lot of times, a lot of people can learn the hard skills.
Yeah.
So, having a portfolio for you to explain what you've done, including knowing some soft skills like problem solving, collaboration skills, and empathy, and all those things. But I think students are learning to be able to have conversations in an interview and have real examples to share, and not just, like I said before, this case study on Tim Hortons, like, who cares? The other thing I think we do is, as part of this project, we use HubSpot, which is a CRM system that allows students to post content, look at the analytics. Part of the sort of learning has them do this little HubSpot certification, which they can hang on their little toolkit to say, now I know how to use HubSpot, which if you look at job postings, a lot of times it'll say knowledge of a CRM system. So then they've got that skill. So so I think those are some of the things that we do. And the other thing I think we do is we try and incorporate examples and things in classrooms, so they get to discuss things and get their hands dirty with like real problems in marketing.
Yeah.
And it's not just all theoretical; it's really sort of
Hands-on.
It's
It's
hands-on.
hands-on.
Which I think, again, makes it more fun and engaging, because I think part of the learning is to make it fun. And I think I'm hoping infuse the project in there, but I think students seem to be having fun with it. We've even sort of tried to gamify it a little bit, where in one of the courses, students do this big presentation. And then what we did at the end was the winning groups all got a prize, which was very kind of the director of marketing in my office. But she ended up doing this like group conversation with all the winners from all the sections.
Wow.
But only
Keeping
that group
them
got it.
motivated.
So keep motivated, like, hey, you win this prize. If you really put the time and effort into the project. So.
Yeah, I think that those activities just make things more fun, and they will play with those tools, like you said, HubSpot. I think it's a fantastic way to see how the content performing at the end of the day, how to tune the content to make it like getting that kind of reach that marketers looking for, the company is looking for. So if students get the chance to use those things, I think it would be a great thing for them when they go to the real job market.
That's right, exactly.
The other thing I
didn't mention is through HubSpot, we actually have created like a Facebook account and an Instagram account and an X account.
Okay.
So students, again, are not just posting and like submitting a Word doc of what my post would be, they're actually posting it to these live pages, which then people like, and they don't share as much, but they probably just, they like each other's posts.
So
which
there
then creates
is
the
interaction.
analytics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
And that gives you the analytics
Yeah.
to then say, oh, what do
Yeah.
people like or not like, or what was their open rate, or how long do they stay on that page?
Yeah.
whatever the case.
It's the analytics
Yeah,
in there.
it's
That's
really interesting. Yeah.
cool. So when we were talking about interactions, so what would you say the students, if, because it's a lonely world out there, you're a fresh graduate, you're like fresh baby out there. So what are the networking opportunities out there for students of this coursework?
Yeah, so I'd say there are three things. One, and probably most useful, is a lot of instructors bring in their friends and colleagues as guest speakers. So it's all about building that network, right? So that one, they get the knowledge of that guest speaker, but they're also starting to connect with people in industry. The other thing that I've just added to one of the courses, which I think I didn't realize the impact it would have, and I think it really was really positive. But one of them is interviewing a business leader. And students had to go out into the community, find a business leader, take like a photo with them to, prove that they've actually met with somebody. It's not just a chat GPT
Yeah.
thing. But again, now they're starting to sort of get people in the community and do stuff with real people. So it takes it out of the textbook and moves it to like a real life situation where they can interact, and hopefully that person becomes someone they can reach out to, or maybe that person knows somebody who knows someone who can help you. The other thing we do, which isn't maybe less connected to the program, but just in terms of like networking with students. So one, we have this beautiful new building with lots of community space where students are always hanging out. So it's nice that people can kind of share and learn and interact and make some friends.
Yeah.
We also have a holiday party, which we just had, where we have all these fun games and stuff, and students can come. We have a food truck. And it just gets people interacting with each other outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
And we missed this during the COVID times. This kind of makes up for all of that, missed opportunity of communicating with each other. Or like, I believe that we kind of became scared of social gatherings at one point, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of makes up for all of those years that we were segregated and we had to do social distancing and all of that. And I've seen the building, Todd. It is beautiful. It makes me want to stay here longer.
We're very lucky. It's a really beautiful
it is beautiful. And if anybody gets a chance, please do drop by the campus.
Exactly.
YorkU campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd love to roam around and see the view, the architecture. It's really that state-of-the-art technology inside the building, and everything is really super cool for the
and the
visitor
students,
and the students,
students
everyone.
walking around, you feel like, oh, okay, we're in a study environment right now. We got to achieve. We have goals. You feel motivated here. And this campus is really lively. I love it. I love it. One of my favorite campuses.
And I would
hands down.
say,
Yes,
I think the
absolutely.
student was really at the heart of that sort of architectural design of we're building this for our students to have them all under one roof, because previously we had a classroom over here and we had a classroom over there on campus, and now we have
Scattered,
all of our students under one roof, and it really feels like a home, and it's a community, which I think is most important.
The community is there, guys.
Yeah.
The community is there. Okay,
Exactly.
speaking of showing off, would you share with us how you measure the success of the graduates of this course?
Yeah, so I don't know if we do that as well as we would like to do, to be fair and honest. I think there's lots of improvement we can do. But in terms of, success, really, I think for me, the best answer is I watch my students on LinkedIn and I see their successes. A lot of students connect with me, and, we connect on LinkedIn. And even today, I actually wrote down the 2 job postings in the past week who had posted about a new job.
Okay.
And I saw 2 students. So again, only 2 students, but the fact that students are getting jobs is really exciting. So one was the digital account manager, and one was an SEO and paid media coordinator.
Sounds
Fantastic.
very, very exquisite. So marketing is kind of at the heart of every single business or every single industry out there. Marketing is super, super, super important. And the names of these positions make me want to, switch from computer science to marketing, because it sounds very important.
Yeah.
Honestly, post-COVID, but I think marketing has become the center of every organization.
Yeah.
And it's not just the people who make fancy ads or do the postings, but it's about customer service. Right?
There are
Like,
technicalities there as well. A lot of
the
technicalities.
person at the front desk of our building, the student services team, like they have to understand marketing because they are marketing our school, our programs, and those interactions. Like that's so important. So marketing touches every aspect of every
Yeah.
business. Everyone should understand
Absolutely.
how marketing works.
Absolutely.
So you've actually got me hyped up already because I'm considering switching. So regarding that, I would like to ask, like, what emerging trends do you see being incorporated into this coursework in the future?
Yeah, the two that come to mind for me, I would say AI and analytics.
AI is
are
the
probably
thing.
two.
Yes, for sure.
And I think AI really is part of everything, right?
Right now, yes.
Yeah.
Practically everything. Like,
Yeah, without this, it's like a beginning of the day. It start with that kind of, you started that people plan something, think
it's
something
not,
new.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not
it's like
exactly
that.
like it's doing the work for you, but it's making your work easier.
Yeah,
So
saving the time.
You still
yeah.
need, because there has been a lot of noise regarding, okay, AI is going to take our jobs. It can't, because it still needs your
Yeah.
innovation, because human beings created AI, of course. So
Yeah.
you need that human touch for the AI to actually evolve as well. And it would make everything really interesting in marketing, because I've also seen students, actually my friends who are in this job field, generate ideas and also generate content, but not put it out just like that. Of course, they have like a special touch to it, but it makes their job way easier.
Yeah, and increase the productivity.
Yeah,
because at
increase
the
the
end of the day,
productivity, for sure.
people have lining up all those to-do list, and if they have some support, it will help them to accomplish whatever they want to achieve in that particular day. So I would really see that kind of creativity behind the AI rather than only criticizing the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incorporating
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
making use
exactly.
of it.
Yeah, and I use it all the time, and I use it mostly for brainstorming.
Yeah, right?
or rewrite. Like I'll write a something, and I'll be like, rewrite.
Yeah.
And it sort of makes it clear. It's a little more succinct.
But
Yeah.
it's still your idea.
It's still
Yeah,
my
yeah.
concept.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It just heightens it.
Yeah, exactly. I
And
do
I think
agree.
I said this before, but I think the analytics is important too, and the storytelling.
Definitely.
Like, how do you visualize the data that someone who doesn't understand data can kind of understand the return on the investment, or why we've got gaps or needs, or what,
Or the trends as well.
or the trends.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So I think
Trends,
that
yeah.
visualization, that storytelling is really important, and that needs to come in. And we've actually developed a new certificate. So again, we're always trying to find this new thing, but we have a new 3-course certificate in marketing analytics. It's not a full-time program or a post-grad program for international students, but certainly take it, or if people can certainly take it if they want, but it's more geared for domestic market.
Okay.
But again, it's an important skill that people have. So our program has a little bit, but we have lots of other programs that support or go into a deeper dive into some of these individual topics.
So is it a certification program?
It's a certificate, yeah, 3-course certificate
Okay,
in
okay.
marketing analytics.
So any students from any background can take that course? Oh, okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
would
cool
open
certificate to
the
have.
opportunities for many people to learn, to join the program if that kind of scope is available for them.
Yeah, because sometimes it's a jumping off point, because you take this,
Yeah.
our digital and content marketing program, they're like, wow, I really love the technology and the sort of, I want to do more of the analytics. So you sort of maybe find your little sweet spot there. Or even we have a program in information privacy. So marketing is a big part of that. You collect tons of data in
Yeah.
marketing. How do you keep it safe? It's not about security of the data, it's about managing the data.
Yeah,
and
if
keeping
you
it
have a lot
private.
of information, you don't know what it's saying, you can't really make use of it. So
Yeah.
analytics is that part that makes sense of the data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool. It covers everything you need to be a
Yeah, absolutely.
be
Absolutely.
a game changer in the industry itself.
I totally agree with you. Now, coming into the point of graduates and what career support or alumni network opportunities are available for them.
In terms of after graduation, we do have a career services sort of support. Some of it is self-directed, and we use AI for like interviewing skills. So we have like a program where you can record yourself and it gives you feedback and stuff on resumes. The one thing I wish we built out is like a job board, which we don't have. But for graduates, really, LinkedIn's a great place to connect with people. We have this graduation ceremony, which is amazing, where we have 600 students coming to our graduation, which is awesome and super fun night to celebrate all their accomplishments. I think the career service is probably the best thing that we do for our graduates. Sometimes we bring graduates to sort of help with my information session, so I'll bring them in as like guests.
They can reconnect,
Yeah.
share knowledge. Knowledge sharing is super important.
I actually did a project where I was trying to help other international students, so I reached out to my marketing students since I usually know them quite well. And they like recorded videos on how to be successful in Canada and academics and how to budget your time. So again, not so much on the job front, but just trying to find ways to keep them connected. Diversity is probably how.
Exactly.
It's community based once again. That's beautiful.
And we even have someone who works in our office now and who was a graduate of this program, digital and content marketing, and he also took the PR program. So occasionally we sort of hire back into our programs. We have a learning experience design graduate who's now an instructional designer in the office. So yeah, where there's sort of ways to sort of take advantage of these great students that we have, bring them into the office as full-time employees, we do that as well.
That's so exciting. Todd, thank you so much for dropping all this knowledge and giving our listeners a behind-the-scenes look at what makes this program such a powerhouse.
That's right, folks. That's a wrap for this episode of Digital Hustle. Today, we had the golden opportunity to have Todd, the program manager of digital and content marketing at YorkU himself, drop by the studio to share some exclusive info with you guys. We've only just scratched the surface, so stick around and make sure to hit that subscribe button next time. We'll be unpacking some more exclusive info on digital marketing and how you can use them to supercharge your career.
Until then, stay curious, stay creative, and keep chasing those digital dreams.
Bye, guys.